Hello and welcome students. Welcome you all in my civics class. So today we are going to start with the first chapter of class 9 civics. Okay, what is democracy? Why democracy? So let's start with a very simple definition of democracy. What is it? Democracy is a form of government in which rulers are elected by the people. Right, children? This is a very simple definition, as we all know that democracy is a form of government in which rulers are elected by the people. Okay, this is a very simple definition of democracy. Here in democracy, we as a citizen are choosing, right, our representative whom we want. We are able to choose, right, the leaders. Okay, and a very famous definition has been given by Abraham Lincoln, that is US President, right? Now, he defined democracy as government of the people, by the people and for the people. So, this is what we are getting the definition of democracy. Now, the features of democracy. So, children, we will go for the features of democracy and through some stories. Okay, we'll go for some stories from Pakistan, China, next Mexico and Zimbabwe. So first story we are getting from Pakistan. Okay, from here let's see. Yes, in Pakistan, General Pervez Musharraf, okay, he led a military coup in October 1999. Okay, so in this year what happened? He led a military coup. That means suddenly he seized the power from the government. And what he did, he overthrew a democratically elected government. That means he overthrew democracy. And after that, he declared himself as the chief executive of the country. He himself declared, okay, that he was the chief executive of the country. Later on, he changed his designation to president, and in the year 2002 he held a referendum. Referendum means simply a vote, okay, and in the country that granted him a 5 years extension, means nobody could remove him or replace him up until 5 years. Okay, that means for 5 years extension he got as a president. Okay. Next, Pakistani media and human rights organization and democracy activists, they understood very well that what is going on here. So they said that this referendum was based on malpractices and fraud. Okay, it was totally a malpractice because people are not choosing him and not giving him any kind of designation or post. But Pervez Musharraf himself, he was declaring himself as a chief executive. Later on he is becoming the president, and he is holding a referendum which granted him a 5 years extension. So this is not happening in a democratic country. So this is unfair, okay, unfair practice which is going on there. And next, in August 2002, okay, in August 2002 he issued a legal framework order, okay, here, that amended the constitution of Pakistan. And what happened? He made some changes in the constitution of Pakistan. According to this order, the president can dismiss the national or provincial assemblies. Means so much power he got that he can dismiss the national or provincial assemblies. And by all this, he was using all those malpractices and tricky, tricks, so that he should get more power for that reason. And here, after that, Pakistan, it had elections, and elected representatives have also some powers, but the final power rests with the military officers and General Pervez Musharraf. Because the work of the civilian cabinet is supervised by a national security council which is dominated by military officers. So after passing this law, elections were held to the national and state assemblies. So here we are, you can see that the final power, it rests with the military officers and General Pervez Musharraf, which is not which should not happen in a democratic country. So we can understand very well that this is not democracy. This is totally undemocratic. So here we are getting the first feature of democracy, that in a democracy the final decision making power must rest with those elected by the people. As people will choose or elect the representative, that representative or the leader must have the final decision making power. But this is not happening here, right? Next, coming to China. Okay, China story, let's see. Free and fair electoral competition here. Okay, in China we can see elections are regularly held, that is after 5 years, which is very common, good for electing the country's parliament. Okay, what is the name? That is National People's Congress. Okay, this is the Chinese parliament. Okay, now the National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country. Fine, it has nearly 3,000 members elected from all over China, and some members are elected by the army also. But before contesting elections, a candidate needs the approval of the Chinese Communist Party, which is very unfair. Okay, if a person wanted to be a candidate to contest election, he must need the permission or the approval of whom? Chinese Communist Party. Okay, only those members who are members of Chinese Communist Party or 8 small parties allied to it were allowed to contest the elections, right, which is held in the year 2002 to 2003. Okay, NPC, National People's Congress, as well as this one, Chinese Communist Party. Okay, so a person who wants to contest election must have the permission of Chinese Communist Party. Okay, and the government is always formed by the Communist Party. So this is the leading party over there in China, who is more dominating and powerful. Okay, without the permission of this Chinese Communist Party, a person is not able to contest election in China. Okay, now since its independence in 1930, Mexico, okay, after the story you have understood, children, that China is also not a democratic country. As we know, this is very unfair because here Chinese Communist Party is holding all the power and it's dominating, right? So like Pakistan, China also is totally undemocratic. Okay, now next story is from Mexico. Yes, since its independence in 1930, Mexico hold elections after every 6 years, okay, to elect the president. Okay, not 5 years, here 6 years, we can see, children, in Mexico. And the country has never been under a military or dictator's rule. That is also very good. But until 2000, every election was won by a party called PRI. So you can see that every year, okay, every year election was won by a party called PRI. Full form of it, PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party. Okay, so this party is always winning the elections. So how is it possible? This is not possible in democracy. Opposition party did contest election. They were contesting election. Opposition parties were there, but they never managed to win. Why this thing is happening? Let's see the story. The PRI, okay, this one. PRI was known to use many dirty tricks to win the election. Means that party was using different tricks, you know, bad politics, dirty tricks to win the elections. Anyhow, they have to win. They can do anything for it. Okay. malpractices, yes. So all those who were employed in government offices, okay, they had to attend its party's meeting, okay. PRI party meetings were there, so all the government officers, they had to attend the meeting. That is mandatory. Next thing, teachers of government school, they used to force the parents to vote for the PRI. This is very injustice. And media largely ignored the activities of the opposition political parties except to criticize them. So media also, it's not free, not independent in Mexico that time. Okay, and PRI spent a large sum of money in the campaign for its candidate, okay, to win the election. So this thing is going on in Mexico, which is not at all, okay, justified, which is totally injustice, okay. So we can say Mexico here also, it's not a democratic country, it's totally undemocratic, okay. Pakistan, China, Mexico. So we have got the stories from here. Now we are getting the next feature of democracy, that a democracy must be based on a free and fair elections where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. It's not like that in democracy that every time a party is winning, every time. It's not like that. Sometimes it might lose also, okay. So in democracy is giving, a fair chance either to lose or to win, okay. Any party might come in power, not a single party every time will win the election, okay. So this is the next feature of democracy. Next, coming to one person, one vote, one value. What we are getting here, that discrimination is going on regarding voting rights. So in which countries? Let's see. In Saudi Arabia, women did not have the right to vote, okay. They did not have any political rights, which is very unfair. Next, in Estonia, Estonia has made its citizenship rules. What are the rules? That the people who are belonging to Russian minority Russian, they find very difficult to get the right to vote. They were not getting the right to vote, okay. The Russian minorities in Estonia. Next, in Fiji, the electoral system is such that the vote of an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of an Indian Fijian, okay. Indian Fijian, they are not getting such political rights, okay. Equal political rights they are not getting. They were being discriminated. So here in democracy, another feature we are getting, that each adult citizen must have one vote, okay, and each vote must have one value, okay. So this is the next feature we are getting. After that, we are coming to the story of Zimbabwe, okay. What happened in Zimbabwe? Let's see. Rule of law and respect for rights, okay. So here, see, Zimbabwe attained independence in the year 1980 from white minority rule. Since then, the country had been ruled by ZANU-PF. What is the meaning of ZANU-PF? It means that for Zimbabwe, African National Union Patriotic Front, okay. This is a political party in Zimbabwe. So this party was led by Robert Mugabe, okay, who was its leader. Robert Mugabe was the leader of ZANU-PF, okay, political party, yes. And elections have been held regularly and always won by ZANU-PF, okay. So here also we can see this political party is always winning the election. President Mugabe is very popular, but he also uses unfair practices in election. So over this years, the government has changed the constitution several times. So this government means under President Mugabe, he has changed the constitution several times. Why? To increase his power, okay, as a president, and he can make him less accountable to the citizens. And opposition party workers, they are being harassed very much, and their meetings were totally disrupted. And public protest and demonstration against the government are declared totally illegal. And there is a law that limits the right to criticize the president. Means nobody can criticize the president, nobody can raise their voice against the president, Robert Mugabe. So Robert Mugabe controlled and he is dominating, okay, in Zimbabwe. And even the media is not free, not independent. Television and radio are controlled by the government, right? Now there are independent newspapers, but the government harasses those journalists who go against it. Okay, those who were protesting and criticizing this government, they were being punished severely. Now, the government has ignored some court judgment that went against it, and then it has pressurized judges also. So this example of Zimbabwe shows that popular approval of the rulers is necessary in democracy, but it is not sufficient, right? So here we'll see that Zimbabwe is also one example of undemocratic, right? Here we can see that it's not at all democratic. Okay, democracy is not prevailing over here, because here the president Robert Mugabe, he is totally treating like a dictator, isn't it? So after that, children, we are getting here the next feature of democracy, that a democratic government rules within limit which is set by constitutional law and citizens' rights, isn't it? Okay. Now after that, we'll see that a summary definition. Okay, whatever we have gone through the summary, let's see. Summary definition is that a ruler elected by the people take all the major decisions, right? Elections offer a choices to the citizen, and fair opportunity also we are getting to change the current rulers or the leaders, and this choice and opportunity is available to all the people, not a single people but all the people, on an equal basis. And next thing, the exercise of this choice leads to a government which was limited by basic rules of the constitution and citizens' rights. So a constitution will be there just like a rule book, and citizens' rights will be mentioned over there. Whatever rights and liberties, freedom we are getting, okay, that will be totally mentioned over there. So this is just a summary definition, and next we'll go for why democracy. Here we'll go for argument against democracy and argument for democracy. Okay, so in this video we will conclude, okay, up till here. In the next video, we'll go for why democracy. Up till then, thank you children for watching the video. Thank you so much.